Yeah, so I'm walking to the wrong building, and I just hear Dad, "It's this way, where are you going?" And I'm just walking like, "Oh, it hurts," and I'm walking so slow. And I just saw Dad run, and I'm like, "Where are you going?" My labor and delivery story is so crazy. It all just happened so fast. Well, let me just tell you what happened. So at about, I think it was 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I had a really, really bad bellyache. And I remember thinking like, holy crap, I have to go to the bathroom and I have to go now. And I ran into the bathroom and I was trying to go. And then I started throwing up, and I turned around and I was throwing up. I remember while I was throwing up, I started feeling cramps. And the cramps were really, really strong, and I thought I had to go to the bathroom again. So I sat back on the toilet, and then I kept throwing up. I was going back and forth, and I couldn't actually go to the bathroom. I just kept feeling like I had to go to the bathroom. So I started timing the cramps. And whatever the feeling of the cramps was, it was coming about every minute. I think it was like a minute 30 starting, and then it went down to a minute. But I was like, you know what? I think I just really have to go to the bathroom. Let me just go lay back down, and when I have to go to the bathroom, I'll wake up. So I initially woke up at 2 in the morning. So at like 2:10, probably, yeah, because I had about like 10 of these cramps. So at like 2:10 or 2:15, I went and I laid down. And I was laying down with Dad, and I finally really had to go to the bathroom. And I remember I just shook him as hard as I could. And I was like, "Dad, wake up, wake up." And he was like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Go get my mom, go get my mom." And I ran to the bathroom, and I was throwing up in the bathroom again. And then I was on the toilet throwing up, and Dad came in, and he was like, "What's wrong, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "Go get my mom, please, go get my mom." So he goes and he gets my mom, and they both come back. And I remember just telling them, like, whatever I'm having it every minute. Like, I don't know what to do. It hurts so bad. I was walking around, and I just remember if I tried to stand still, it hurt so bad I had to just keep moving. So I was doing circles around the living room while Dad and Graham got all of my things together. And Graham stayed with Indy. So then we're driving to the hospital, and I sat in the back, and I didn't even buckle, but I was on all fours, and I was leaning over Indy's car seat because I just could not get comfortable sitting. There was no way I was going to sit. I was leaning over Indy's car seat, and I just kept thinking, I have to push. Like, I have a feeling like I need to push. Like, I'm pretty sure this baby is coming. So to Dad, I kept saying, "Where are we?" Because I was in so much pain that I couldn't open my eyes. So to Dad, I kept saying, like, "Where are we? How close are we? When are we going to be there?" And he was like, "We're like 10 minutes away, just hold on." So as we're getting off the exit for the hospital, I hear a pop. And I'm like, "What is that?" Dad just starts flipping out. He's like, "We popped a tire. This is ridiculous. Right now? This has to happen right now?" And I'm in the back like, "Do you need me to call an ambulance? Because I'm about to have this baby right here." It honestly felt like the baby was coming out right there in the car. So we ended up deciding that we should just drive to the hospital with the flat tire anyway. So we drive all the way to the hospital. And we get out, and as we're walking in, first of all, I started walking to the wrong building. and I couldn't even open my door. I had to have Dad open my door. But yeah, so I'm walking to the wrong building, and I just hear Dad, "It's this way, where are you going?" And I'm just walking like, "Oh, it hurts," and I'm walking so slow. And I just saw Dad run, and I'm like, "Where are you going?" And he just starts running into the building, so I'm assuming he's gonna get people to come help me. But he ends up, and by now my contractions are less than a minute apart, probably like 40 or 30 seconds apart. So Dad comes running back with a wheelchair, and I sit down, which I can hardly sit because I'm telling you, I swear the baby is coming out. So I can hardly sit, and I think we got to the hospital at 3 in the morning. So my labor started at 2, and we got to the hospital at 3. Oh, no, wait, we got to the hospital at like 2:50, I'm sorry. Yeah, we got to the hospital at like 2:50. So we go in, and they give Dad a sticker, which he put on me, that said visitor, and the woman's like, no, that's for you, honey, not for her. So anyway, we're like both cracking up then as he's pushing me, but he pushes me into the elevator, we start going up, we get into labor and delivery, and the woman in labor and delivery is asking me all these questions, which I can't answer. Dad had to. I was in so much pain. And as I laid up on the bed, I started bleeding a little bit. I quick called the nurse, and I'm like, "I just bled on the bed. I don't know what that means." So they check me, and I'm 7 centimeters dilated. And the length between my contractions is really, really short. And I just remember hearing the nurse say, like, skip triage, I'm not having another baby in here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this baby's coming? Like, then I got really scared. So they start wheeling us down to our room. And Dad was way behind me, so I kept looking back and making sure that Dad was following because I did not want to be alone. And they finally get me into my room. And I start having a contraction, and they told me, as soon as this contraction's over, switch to the other bed. So the contraction's over, and I start switching to the other bed, and what do you know, my water breaks everywhere. And at this point, once my water broke, it started really, really hurting. I could not even control myself. So I started getting another contraction, and the doctor was getting stuff ready, and I remember yelling out, "I have to push," and I was holding Dad's hand, and I remember the doctor telling me, "That's okay, that's just a normal feeling, it just means that," what did he say? It's just a normal, I think he just said, "It's just a normal feeling that comes with contractions, everybody feels like that." And I just thought in my head, nope, I really have to push. And then the next contraction that came, which now it's 3 in the morning, so we've been at the hospital for 10 minutes. The next contraction that came, I was like breathing in, trying to relax, and I just remember yelling like, I'm pushing, I can't help it, I'm pushing. And the doctor quick ran over, and he started feeling, and he's like, oh my gosh, she's 9.5 centimeters, like this baby's coming out. And Taylor, my eyes were closed because I was in so much pain. Taylor said that nurses and doctors just ran in after that and was like setting everything up. They put my feet up on the things quick, and they were like, all right, give us a push. And just like that, I started pushing. I remember right before I started pushing, Dad said to me, do you want to get the epidural? Should we ask them to give it to you quick before we push? And I, in my painful agony, I looked at Dad and I was like, it's too late for the epidural. That's why I'm so scared. And the nurse was standing there telling me it was going to be okay. So we start pushing. And I had pushed twice, and I'm on the third push. I just remember that I was in so much pain. I was holding the nurse's hand, screaming to her how scared I was and how much pain I was in. And she was talking me through it, telling me, it's all right. This is normal to feel the pain. It's all because your baby is coming. Just helping me relax. And then I looked over at Dad. I don't even think I could look at him, but I just could feel him. And I just remember screaming, about all the pain, and I couldn't get the epidural, and I was so scared. It was so nerve-wracking. But I ended up taking Dad's arm and just biting onto it because I was screaming so loud and I was embarrassed. So I just bit onto Dad's arm so that I didn't scream out loud to everyone. And so I'm on my third push, and I'm pushing as hard as I can, and I just start bawling my eyes out, and I'm like, I can't do it, it hurts, I can't do it. And a nurse came into my ear, and she said to me, you need to get a grip, your baby is coming, you have one more push, your baby is almost out, pull yourself together and push. And then in my head it just clicked, and I was like, all right, I gotta do this. Like, I have to get this baby out. So I pushed as hard as I could, and she was here at 3:02 in the morning when I went into labor at 2 a.m. It was so fast and so crazy, and it hurt so, so bad. It was definitely the most tribal thing I've ever experienced. I was not even myself. I couldn't even hold my eyes open because of the pain. It was just so crazy. But I'm really glad that I got to experience the natural labor at least once. Are you hungry? I'm really glad that I got to experience it naturally. And it's almost perfect that I got there too late, because then I didn't have the choice of the epidural, which I probably would have chosen. We only had to stay for one day. They gave us 24 hours and then we could leave. I only needed one stitch, and I didn't have any tearing. So it was pretty awesome. We only had to stay for one day and then we got to go home. What, are you hot? And what else was I gonna say? All the nurses kept coming in our room, and every time they came in, they'd be like, are you the one who gave birth within less than 15 minutes of getting to the hospital? And we're like, yes, we almost had a baby in the car. And I remember one nurse was joking, like, the next time you're pregnant, you better stay at the hospital for the whole week before your due date. Like, yeah, I definitely might be looking into that, because I'm not really excited to have a baby in the car. Or I guess I'll probably just have to get a doula and have a home birth, because that was the fastest thing I've ever experienced. It was so crazy, but it was so rewarding. And I got this little nugget out of it. Yeah. So although it was the most painful experience of my life, it was totally worth it. And I definitely think not having the epidural was way, way better, and the healing process is way faster as well. Of course, because that's the natural way that you're supposed to do it. Say. And now I have this beautiful baby. Are you so pretty? So yeah, that is the story of what happened. And it was all so emotional and so crazy. I don't know. If anybody wants to know anything else about my delivery story, you can message me or you can comment on this video. I always respond to comments. So yeah, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, and give us a thumbs up for this little nugget. Say, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to watch her grow and watch little Indy grow and just watch our family and all the funny moments that we have, you can subscribe. We post videos every day. Well, usually every day. Sometimes it's hard and I get a couple hours behind, but usually they're on time. But yes, so now we have a little baby. Can you look at the camera? Say bye. Bye. Say bye. Oh. Bye.